It is a Trojan horse. Disguised as deficit reduction plans, it is really an attempt to impose a radical vision on our country.
So I seem to have three certainties in my life: death, taxes, and bitter partisan attacks from President Barack Obama. Unfortunately, it's just something we're getting used to. It's because he lacks an agenda to actually fix this country's problems.
Well, the president was shrill, demagogic, partisan, and I think very small. He comes off looking very small. And the problem for him, the president is, he is the most strident, I think, on his greatest failure. For the president to lecture Republicans, particularly Paul Ryan, on leadership and responsibility on issues, on fiscal issues and entitlement reform and budgets, when he can't, as you asked Jay Carney about in your interview earlier, he can't even gently nudge Senate Democrats to pass a budget with 51 votes, which they could do tomorrow if there were the political will. The president hasn't been serious about this since the beginning of his presidency, and I think what we saw from him today is a sense of desperation that he knows he can't win this argument on the substance, so he has to lash out in this way.
But Ryan has proposed something. The Republicans have proposed something. Obama and the Senate Democrats have proposed nothing. Look, the former CBO director, Douglas Holtz-Eakin, points out that average spending for the federal government over the last 50 years has been slightly over 20% of the economy every year. What is the average spending in the Ryan budget over the next decade? Exactly that, slightly over 20%. Obama is the one who's been radical. The 25% of the economy that he's spending out of Washington is the highest since the Second World War. He's the one who's been radical with trillion-dollar deficits. We've never had one in American history. He's now had 4 in a row. He's now increased our debt by $5 trillion in one term. Radical, unprecedented. He admits openly, he said that Medicare is going to become insolvent. He's proposed nothing on that. And as you pointed out, he himself has proposed a budget which was defeated in the House by 414 to nothing, and the one he proposed last year was defeated in the Senate, which he controls, 97-0. That is radical.
If you look at what the president will have done by the end of his first term, from inauguration to the end of his first term, he will, in all likelihood, have increased the debt, the national debt, by the same as all of the previous presidents to this point. That is radical.